Right, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now, as I've just done a little review on MicroMir's British K-Class and M1 1350 scale submarines, I thought I'd give you a little update on the build and where we're up to at the minute and the process going forward. So this is the K-Class. What I've basically done is done the minimum construction on the plastic. I haven't put any of the etch brass or anything like that. So this is the basic build-up of the plastic kit itself. I'll just quickly run through. So I had a couple of sink marks in the stern there, so they're like filled over and sanded flat. A couple of sink marks from the two halves that join together. Again, a bit of Tamiya putty, sanded flat, job done. The shafts are on at the back, the rudders are on, the keel's all sorted. Next stage for that one and for the M1, which is here again, similar state. Basically the basic build up of the plastic kit. This is a bit more involved, so you've got like a section here that drops in. So I took a bit of filler there to sort that out. I've lost the line of the water line there, so I'll just have to rescribe that quickly, which isn't much of a pain. But that's the basic construction of both kits. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to have to move on to the etch brass, and there's quite a bit of that. So that is for the M1. So there's quite a bit of etch brass for that. Deck detail, rudder detail, handrails, stabilizers, propellers. There's a bit on that. The K-Class not so much. Rudders, top of the conning tower, torpedo doors, torpedo launcher doors, handrails. Like I say, now I have built these before. Little anchors there as well. How nice are those? I have built these before. Now I would find to put etch brass onto plastic is we use super glue, but it can be a bit of a pain. So the best thing to do, I find, is to prime them first, and then you put the etch brass on and then prime them again. So again, primer of choice, great auto primer. Quick, go outside, give it a quick blast, get them from Amazon. You get them, I don't know, I think I buy a box of 6 at a time. Excellent stuff, perfect for this job. So we're going to give them a blast over the primer. We'll put the etch brass on and we'll see what it looks like when I come back. So I shouldn't be too long, although it might take a while to put this stuff on. I'll try and show a little video of actually how I do it with the super glue, and we'll see what results we get. Thank you. Right, we now have the etch brass fitted to the subs. There's quite a bit on the M1, on the M-Class sub. There's quite a bit to do. It's a bit fiddly, but it's not too bad. The handrails are a bit of a pain to do, and that's that. There's nice touches on the front control rudders and things. The K-Class, again, there's not as much on the K-Class as there is on the M1. But we've got some nice touches. I particularly like the anchors. If you can have a look at them, they're a two-piece item and look very good. So now we've got them sort of brassed up when you get them primed up. So I'll nip outside with a primer. We'll get some primer on them and we'll start getting some paint down on them and start making them look like they've been in the sea for a little while. Right, so that's all the primer on. All the etch brass has been covered with primer. And we are ready to go with the first coat of paint on the K-Class and the M1. Now the instructions just basically say dark grey, doesn't give you any clue. I don't suppose it's critical because it's a boat that's going to be in the water, so the paint's going to be subject to marine attack from marine things, animals and plants and whatnot, so it's going to fade. So I'm just going to make a mixture of dark grey from these two Tamiya paints, XF71 and X1. So we'll fire up the airbrush. We'll just give it a quick coat on the bottom of the hulls and below the waterline. Then we'll look at masking for the light grey. The M1, we're going for this one with the disruptive camouflage on. So that's going to be brush painted on. But for now, we'll paint the dark grey hulls, mask it off, and paint the top light grey hulls as well. Right, let's fire up the airbrush. Right, so we've got the dark grey on the hull on, and we've got them masked up. So it's basically just Tamiya yellow masking tape along there. Just be a bit careful around the rudder area because you've got a bit of etch brass, etc. on the stabilizers. So you don't want to put stick it down too much. So when you take the tape off, it pulls the etch brass off. I've already mixed the light grey, so we're going for a Tamiya XF83 medium sea grey. It's close enough. Like I say, they're going to be weathered down. So as long as I've got a light grey on, that'll do me. I've got about 50-50, so we'll see what it's like when it goes on. So 50-50 mixed thinners to paint. Oh yeah, and on around this back bit here, I'm probably going to do a bit brush painting because it's a little bit a little bit delicate to mask it exactly. So let's get some paint on. I'm starting the superstructure on the sail. Let's have a look. So that looks very nice. So I'll go along and complete all that, and then we'll pull the masking tape off. So I'll crack on with that, and we'll get back to you in a second. Right, so that's the grey on. So we've got the upper grey, so the light grey colour. Let's take some masking off and see whether it was worth it. I'm sure it will be. Let's grab some little tweezers. This might not be the most scintillating of television, but just give you some idea of the effect you can get from decent masking. So, like I said, you've got to be careful with the back end of this because it's got all sort of etch brass and sort of fragile components. So just got to be a bit careful, hence the tweezers. Right, we'll try and get this bit off and then I'll do the rest in a second. See what we got. Okay. Now I'll pull the one from underneath. Should have prepared this better. Little knife. Of course, that's not the bit I want to come off. I want this bit to come off. Right, so there we go. Nice clean mask line there. Might have a bit of overspray, a little bit there. Well, I'll just touch that in with a brush, and I need to touch it in underneath with the brush as well. A little bit overspray on the rudder. I'm not too bothered about that because it's going to get weathered down. But otherwise, we've got a nice demarcation line there. Right, I'll do the rest, and we'll see where I end up. Right, okay, we've got somewhere with these two submarines now, or boats, or whatever you want to call them. So I've got the two-tone grey hull and the upper light grey upper surface. I've done the black on the decks. Good God, can't speak this morning. Right, so that's the decks done. The transfers have gone on. As you can see, I put a little gloss coat on where the transfers have gone on, and they've got, like on the conning tower, little windows, and it's K4. So that's the basic coat on the K class. The M1, again, this has got like a swirly pattern of a greeny grey colour. Now I didn't actually tape it, but these are the colours I've used to get that colour. So it's a combination of all these. I can't tell you the ratios because I mixed it as by eye, but they're the 4 colours I did to get that green colour. So if you want to do it, just copy them and just get different ratios. So it's got like a swirly curvy pattern on the whole side. Again, I've got the transfers on there. You got the M1, you've got the your depth gauges as well, your depth lettering, Roman numerals. So at the minute they look a little bit rough and ready. There's a lot more work to be done on it. So the next thing to do is give them a little wash. So this is the oil paint. It's like a browny black colour I've just made myself. So I'm going to put a little wash on that, a little targeted wash. I'm not going to like coat the whole things. Then we're going to give them a dry brush, and then I might go in again with an airbrush to pick out some details, some colours, and possibly tidy it up a bit, because there is, like I say, it's a little bit rough and ready. You'll see a little bit. It's not perfectly straight along there, the black on that, but I can sort that out. The black on the deck to the surface of the side of the hull. So we'll just put a little drop of oil on there and give you an idea of what happens. And I've just realised I haven't got my right glasses on, so it looks brilliant now. So again, capillary action just takes it into the recesses and the crevices, and you can see how it picks out the ladder and things like that. So I'll go around both submarines, adding a bit of depth, give it a dry brush, and then we'll come back and we'll see what they look like. Right, I've basically just finished these kits off. There wasn't a lot left to do. So the K class is all done. Basically just give a little bit of weathering, a little bit of wash, a little bit of sort of like dirt around the bow. I didn't over weather this one too much, not like I've done these before. You can probably see on my channel I've got some images of a K and M class up on the channel, but I didn't over weather these this time. I think I to put it this way, they're not as weathered as the other ones are, so I've held back a little bit. That's the K class, that's the M class. Again, they're lovely little kits. Go together reasonably well. You do need a little bit of modelling skill to get the best out of them. But they're very interesting submarines from an interesting period in history. So there we go. We've got the K class and the M class all done. I'll put some pictures up at the end. But otherwise, if you want something a bit quirky, a bit different, I can highly recommend these kits. Like I say, the K class I find a fascinating submarine. A submarine with funnels. I would recommend you look into this a bit more if you're interested in military hardware and submarines, especially these K class. Just if you go on YouTube, just search K class, and you might come across a channel by a content creator called Drakenfell. He does a lot of military history and is excellent, especially for the K class. But there we go. I'll put some pictures up at the end, and I hope you enjoyed the build. And let's move on to something else.